Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our workout for today. For today's workout, you may want to have a heavy weight, whether it's a dumbbell, whether it's a kettlebell. You only need one of them. And then we will have a few movements with some slider opportunities. So if you have sliders, you can use those. It can be as simple as a towel on hardwood floor. But besides that, let's get warm and let's get started. We're going to begin with jumping jacks in 3, 2, and 1.
Jumping jacks.
Full jack, half jack, totally up to you. You can step them, skip them, jump them. Take your pick. How about these sweet shirts?
It's fabulous.
You even got the mask and everything.
It looks good on you.
It's a beautiful day, nice and hot, 900 degrees, earth melting.
3,
It's awesome.
2,
Bringing
1.
it down to the floor now. We have
Push-ups.
kneeling push-ups. Just getting loose. Warming through the middle, staying tight through the core. You may see some push-ups in today's work. Trying to keep the shoulders back and down, right in their sockets.
Three, 2,
And pop it up.
1.
Squats are next.
Squat.
Again, just kind of getting through the motions, figuring out where the limits are. Staying tight through the middle. Trying to engage everything you can.
Three, 2,
Good. We have a plank
1.
next.
Plank.
This can be up on your wall using your bench or your chair or on the floor. Looking for a straight body. No hips dipping or piking. We want everything right in a straight line. And we're going to stay here for the next movement as well. Nice and relaxing.
Just like this.
3,
Exactly.
1.
Next up, we have a groiner. So same idea. We're just going to add the foot coming up. Sit into it. You can have the back knee touch down if you'd like. Finding the stretch through the hip flexor and the hamstring of the leg that comes forward. If you're super tight like I am. Five more seconds here.
3, 2.
And from where you are,
T
we
push-ups.
have a T push-up. So we're going to add to our push-up a roll out and a lift to the sky. The top leg is going to straighten if you're from the knee. And as you do, you're going to deliver elbow and then hand. We're going to be flipping over to our backs next.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Come on
Bridge
down
march.
with me. We have a bridge march. Hips squeezing through, glutes tight. Kicking up to the ceiling. You have your bench option if you want it. Very nice. Remember that when we bridge march, it's not a lift in the lower back. It's a squeeze through the backside.
3, 2, 1.
Good. We're going to pop it up
Jump and
now.
jab.
We have a little jack and jab action. We're out, we're forward. If you're stepping, it can look just like this. Once you get a little more comfortable, you can add some speed or just stay right here. Almost through the warm-up.
3, 2, 1.
We have a step out squat
Step out
now.
squats.
From our center point, stepping side to side, adding a little more depth than we did in our first squat round, because now we're a little bit warmer. Ten seconds here.
3, 2,
Last but
One.
not least, we have a little
One on
run.
spot.
We got a minute here, or no, 30 seconds here total. Whew. We could do a minute, but we're not going to today. But we're going to play with this as we go. For example, right now, we're going to go wide knees. Now we're going to go heels up. In our final 5 seconds, I want you to pick it up real quick. Just a short little burst.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, very nice. So, here is our workout for today. We're going through this top section 4 times. 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off. We go from the top to the bottom. In our sweeper lunge, that may be one that you're not quite as familiar with. We're going to stick to one side at a time there. So 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on the other. In our forward and reverse walking plank, if you have your sliders or your towel, you can use that there. There will also be a squat jump option with your sliders or your bands. In your halo, you'll want a dumbbell or a weight. And besides that, we have body weight. So, mentally preparing for a little bit. You got 10 seconds. We're going to begin in line hops, picking a line on the floor, going side to side, hopping over it. Try not to break through the floor. Here we go. Nice and light. If this type of movement is not very workable for you, you can always step it side to side. If you are going, you want to pick it up, you can. You can be quick with these. Add the hands. Little counterbalance.
3, 2, 1.
And
Rest.
breathe. We are on the floor next. We have T push-ups. We did these in the second round, the second half of the warm-up. So, we're down. We're up. We deliver the elbow, then the hands.
3,
On the
2,
knee or full
1.
body.
T push-ups.
As you rotate out, think about being in a straight line from the palm of your hand, pushing through until your hand that is extended overhead. Center of balance, center of gravity. You don't need to reach behind you.
3, 2, 1.
Good.
Rest.
Pop it up now. We have our sweeper lunge, our first time through. We're going to pick a side, we're going to stick there. So if I am in my sweeper lunge, I'm balancing on this leg.
3,
The sweeper
1.
comes through,
Sweeper lunge right.
sweeping my leg behind me. If you have the slider or you have your towel on a hardwood floor, you can use that on your back leg to sweep behind you. That spot on the floor is going to be super polished, and it's all going to be because of you. Good job.
3, 2, 1.
If you have a very tacky, sticky floor, try to maintain just a light sweep. If you have to, this can be a step back where you
3,
don't stay in contact if your
1.
floor is that sticky.
Sweeper lunge left.
But I encourage you to try to have just a little touch, very, very light, really sitting into the front leg. If you get stuck on the floor and you fall down, nobody's looking, don't worry.
Three, 2, 1.
As we go through,
Rest.
those are going to get lower and lower and lower. Next up, we have a walking plank. You have a no slider version and you have a slider version.
3, 2, 1.
Stay tight
Forward
through
and
the
back
middle.
slider walking plan.
Stay tight through the glute. We're just going forward and back. If you have a mat, a perfect length is 4 steps forward, 4 steps back. You can make the steps as big or as small as you want them. Things to look out for. the hips,
3,
hiking.
2, 1.
Notice the drag in the legs with the sliders. Next up, we're gonna pop it in our squat jump.
Three, two, one. Squat jump.
Depending on where you're at today, this may be a quarter range squat with a little hop. This could get a little lower, or you can add the rocket launch and get airborne. If you're going for that power option, don't be concerned if you take an extra second between to reset. If you're really getting some air, it may be
3, 2,
and then continue.
1.
That's all right.
Rest.
Next up, we have our halo. Grab one dumbbell or a kettlebell, some type of weight. We're going to create a halo around our head. You're going to pick a direction, clockwise, counterclockwise. I don't remember if she tells us to switch the direction,
Halo.
but I'll do my best to remind you. Going around your head, not through it. The weight doesn't do a very good job going through the skull. I mean, it does, but you'd prefer it didn't.
Might be an indentation.
Let's switch directions. I always knew there was a reason I had a soft spot. So naturally, shoulders are the focus
3,
here, but
2, 1.
the rest of me
Rest.
stays tight as I'm going through that whole process. We have a star jack next. One of my favorites.
3,
We'll show some different options
2,
here.
1. Star jack.
So, we have the moving star jack. We have 2 regular jacks and then a star, because you're all stars. You can level this up as you want to.
Three,
If you pick a version, try
1.
to stick with it, otherwise you
Yeah.
get confused and fall over. Next up, we have donkey kicks. You know them, you love them. We're in a high plank. We're going to use our options of a hamstring curl,
3,
a skip,
2,
or the full kick.
1. Donkey kick.
As a reminder, your hamstring curl is side to side. You're really trying to kick your butt here. If you want a little more than that, you want to add a little impact, a skip on either side, one leg at a time, and then the big behemoth, the big kick. Look at the power coming behind. And if you want a little more control,
3,
you can fight
2,
for
1.
the handstand.
Rest.
But that's up to you. That's one full round down. So, right before we get into round 2, light sip of water, if you want it. We're not going to give you this nice long recovery every time, but now that you kind of have an idea, think about where you can add a little bit, where you're going to need to take a little bit off. It picks up in intensity each round. Same movements. We're going to crank up the volume. Not the volume, the intensity. That's the nice way to put it. We're getting back to line hops.
3,
Here
2,
we
1.
go.
Line hops.
So wherever you were at first round, think about the effort that was involved. Now you have an idea. All right, I'm up, then I'm down, then I'm over, then I'm up, then I'm down. You have the transitions. So if there's a little bit more for you to put in, now's a good time.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
We're down. T push-ups. "15 seconds of rest." So nice.
3,
Take a
2,
nap,
1.
do your
2
laundry.
push-ups.
Now remember, if you are going from the knee, the top leg extends, then the elbow in the hand. You can do this from the bench or the chair anytime.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Very nice. Sweeper lunge with or without your slider. I'm going to encourage you and challenge you to take the depth that you had last time
3,
and cut it in half.
2, 1. Sweeper lunge right.
So we stay low. Remember, without the sweeper, without the slider, you keep a very light touch on the floor. Chest and eyes fighting to stay up, not rounding the back. Sitting deep into that leg. Firing up a little bit now.
2, 1. Rest.
Other side coming up. Breath. Enjoy
3,
this
2,
nice warm
1.
day. This
Sweeper lunge
beautiful weather we have. Stay tall. Again, if you need it, the toe tap option. Great option.
Three, 2, 1. Rest.
Going back to our walking plank, with or without the slider. We showed the slider last time. If you want to drag the feet forward, push them back. That's a pretty good challenge.
3, 2, 1. Forward and back slider walking plank.
If you are walking these, you can always break it down into a crawl if you need to. A modification would be to stay in the same spot, walk the feet up, and add a little bit of a pike. In, out, out.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Squat jumps coming up. Starting to pick up just a little bit.
3,
Put my fan up.
1. Squat jump.
There. Now, where's your power? Are you looking for a little more cardio base, right? A little bit more shallow, but higher reps. Or do you want the more power, where you're really down, you're really up? Power, you're trying to touch the ceiling.
Three, 2, 1. Rest.
Back to our halo. Grab your dumbbell or your weight. Try not to hit yourself in the head. 5 seconds.
3, 2, 1. Halo.
Now remember, not arching the lower back, staying tall. If going overhead with the weight is not a great option for you, you can go around the world, a little bit more core based. Switch directions. Keep the glutes engaged. Keep the middle engaged.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Star jacks are next. Just thought of a fun non-impact option to this one.
3.
I don't know if it's going to work, but it looks good in my head.
Star jack.
You can do a little Karate Kid action. There, that's what I wanted to do, right there.
That's favorite.
I like the 2-1 and then the explosion. That's fun. Just right for me today. Maybe I'll gear it up in around 3 or 4.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Donkey kicks. Now remember, pick your intensity here as well. High plank, a lot of kicking, butt kickers,
3,
skips,
2,
the hard
1.
kick behind.
Donkey kicks.
If you want it, the kick up. Oh, Try not to do that. Five seconds.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Second round down. 2 to go. Lights hits the water. There's not a lot of rest. Get ready for it.
3,
Into our line
2,
hops.
1. Line hops.
This is about quickness here. Quickness is bringing up the speed fast. So agility, we think of that. You pick your line. How many times can you hop over the line?
Three, 2, 1. Rest.
Deep push up. This is round 3 of 4.
Three, 2, 1. Deep push-ups.
If you like a little mix in there, you can always add your hand release at the bottom and then bring it up into your T part of the push-up.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Back to our sweepers. You remember how low you were last time? Cut it in half. If you can.
3, 2, 1. Sweeper lunge right.
Now, when it comes to balance, right, we're very low here. As you need to. These may slow down a little bit because we're really sitting into the leg. The balance needed for that, not always the easiest. But your time under tension
3,
benefits.
2, 1. Rest.
Going on the other side now. Nice little rest. Phew, yeah. I don't know who's mopping after this,
3,
but we just made
2,
their job a whole lot easier.
1. Sweeper lunge left.
Stay low. That's a joke because we're mopping after. Keep your depth. That leg in the back moving is really the challenge because here we're staying very stable. We're staying almost motionless. Trying to anyway.
3, 2,
Unless you fall over
1.
because you're looking all over the place.
Yeah.
Like me. Walking plank. Coming up. Getting hot.
Three, 2, 1.
Fight.
Forward and back
Wrist.
slider walking plan.
Elbow, shoulder. All in a line. Best you can. Taking breaks as you need them, then popping back in.
Three, 2, 1. Rest.
Squat jump. Halfway through round 3. Good depth marker right there if you need it.
3,
Otherwise,
1. Squat jump.
you can shoot for the knee, the shin, the foot, the floor. But notice, how's the back angle? Do you have a mirror nearby? Are you here? Or are you here? Flat back, eyes up, proud chest. Then picking your version. Whatever the squat jump looks like for you today.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Halos. With your dumbbell, your kettlebell, your weight. Hang out 3 seconds.
3,
Here we go.
2, 1. 0.
We have plenty of options everywhere. I like it. The around the world option, not going overhead. Whichever version you're choosing, tight through the middle. Switch directions. Not losing that tightness through the core. Glutes are squeezing.
3,
Belly squeezing.
2, 1. Rest.
Good. Star jacks.
3, 2, 1. Star jack.
You can kung fu fight if you want to. I'll let you know halfway. You can switch sides if you're doing the specialized jack, or you want to do the kung fu. Remember to lead, knee, and then with the kick, that's halfway. You can switch sides. You got to think about it for a second.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Good, and we have donkey kicks to wrap up round 3.
Three, 2, 1. Donkey kicks.
Now, if you're choosing the power kick option and you are on the floor, remember, there's not a whole lot of time for you to execute. So if you're here and you're too slow coming down, we're going to hit the knees. If you are trying to get into that power kick, a good option is to test it with either side and then do a very quick one
3,
and then build up.
2, 1. Rest.
Good, take a breath, light sips of water. I'm gonna extend the recovery by just a few seconds. Sip the water in. Towel off if you need to. If you're using your towel as your slider, sorry. Get a new one. Round 4. After this, we got a little bit of a core round. So, whatever you see here is your last time doing that particular movement. You have 10 seconds to prepare. From the top. In 5, 4.
3, 2, 1.
Line hops.
Line hop.
Are you still quick? Quick may look a little different than it did in round 1. That's okay. Pump the arms, moving side to side, 2 feet at a time. We're doing the skip version. 5 more seconds.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Deep push-ups coming up. 5 seconds to prepare.
3,
Start to bring it down.
2, 1. Deep push-ups.
As you rotate, we're stacking still. Wrist, elbow, shoulder, shoulder, elbow, wrist. 7 seconds.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Very nice. Sweeper lunges. This is round 4. If you can add depth, I want you to do it. If you can't, I want you to stay where you were and fight to stay there.
3,
Stay strong here.
1. Sweeper lunge right.
As you can see, you can pick up the speed if you'd like. Everything else has to be in check though. Balance, depth, your marks with your feet. If you're going without slider,
3,
remember your toe
2,
tap option.
1. Rest.
Almost there.
3,
Here we go.
1. Sleeper lunge left.
You're low, but can you go lower? Ten seconds.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Check those out. Walking plank is coming up. Bring it down.
3, 2,
Here
1.
we go.
Forward and back slider walking plan.
Now, as always, you have your options on the bench too. Your sidestepping plank is a great one. I love that option. You can also walk the plank out on there. So if you're going through this and you've been using your bench the whole time,
3,
mix
2,
it up.
1.
Feel free.
Rest.
Do what's going to work for you there. Squat jumps, they're coming. They're coming for you. And you. And you too.
3, 2, 1.
Pick a side.
Squat jump.
Is it speed? Is it power? If you're speed, I want you to get as many reps as you can. If it's power, I want you to get some air. Touch the ceiling. Try not to hit the ceiling with your head. But if you can touch it, that's great. If there are nails, avoid those. 5 seconds.
3,
Last few.
2, 1. Rest.
Good. Halos. Your weight. I can never remember which side I choose first.
3,
Here we go.
2, 1. Halo.
I know the shoulders move in this one, but we really want to try to keep away from the shoulder earrings, right? Not quite here. Keeping things down, going around the head. Switch direction.
Three, 2, 1. Rest.
Star jacks coming up. I think I'll do the stars the entire time.
Right this time.
3,
We will let you know halfway.
1.
Take your pick.
Star jacks.
Feel like I'm making the floor shake. That is halfway. Did you get your switch down?
No,
No? Smooth.
not working today.
3, 2,
Oh,
1. Rest.
another round down. Donkey kicks are finishing it up, and you know, if you can't have fun while you're doing it, why are you doing it? Not always pretty, not always the best,
3,
but it's what you got that day
1.
that matters.
Donkey kick.
Here we go. Ooh. 15 seconds.
Three, 2, 1.
Very nice. You've earned your minute rest. Catch some breath. Grab a little bit of water. We have a core round coming up. It's all over the place. We're up or down. I would say mostly it's, well, mostly down. In our mountain climb options, you can absolutely take the standing options. I know there's a lot there, but it moves pretty seamlessly from one to the other. Flip over, on the side, and so on. So, as you are going through, pace yourself. We have 7.5 minutes remaining. That's it, between you and the door. So, catch your breath. Again, light sip the water. Oh dear. Got a shoelace. Enjoy your last few seconds of rest. We are going to get started in a break dancer. If shoulders or elbows are an issue for you, I'm going to recommend using the bench. Okay? Otherwise, you can bring it down to the floor if you'd like. We are going to get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So, in my break dancer, I'm looking to touch the knee, the shin, or the toe. Each of these movements is 30 seconds. Walking my way down, I like to change my target as I go along. I hit knees, then I go shins, then I go feet. But you can take your pick there. We're going to go flipping over now.
2,
Stationary bear crawl.
Stationary bear crawl.
Staying in one spot, I'm going to touch forward and forward, then the other side. I'm sticking one side out and then bringing it back center. As needed, you can make this a modified bear crawl where it's just the legs coming in. The fight here is to keep the back flat.
Three, 2, 1.
Whoa.
Rest.
Good. Next up, we have a sit back
3,
thruster.
2,
So think the bottom half of our burpee.
Sit back thruster
Without the jump, I power forward and I sit back. Almost like I'm jumping myself forward without leaving the floor. So I sit and I power. Your feet may need to reset, and that's okay.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Good. Next up, we
3,
have on the
2,
floor on our back
1.
a
SMO
sprinter
band resisted
lunge.
sprinter sit up.
I'm gonna power my hands as if I'm running a sprint. Bring the knee up to meet myself halfway. We're just throwing it all at you. If you pick up early on the movement, great. If you don't worry about it. Do the best you can.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Whoa, we're gonna stay here.
3,
We got bicycles
2,
next.
1. Small band bicycle.
Very similar, except this time, slow is better. The lower your legs go, the harder it is. So if you keep the legs up, you're gonna find it's a little easier. Another thing to look out for, bent knees. If your knees and legs are going long, this is gonna be harder. But if you're keeping a
3,
bend,
2,
you'll find it
1.
easier.
Rest.
Next up,
3,
oh boy,
2,
flip
1.
it over.
Side
We have a
plank
side
hip lift
plank
lunge.
hip lift. I am on my side. I can go one leg up and one knee. I'm going to go from middle to up. I never dip down. I always stay in a line. You want a little bit more? Go full body.
3, 2, 1.
In case you can't guess, we're going to go other side
3,
now.
2,
Again,
1.
half
Side
or
plank hip
full.
lift left.
Starting in the middle, moving the hips up. Keep breathing. You have under 4 minutes to go. Try to stay square to the wall ahead of you.
3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Rest.
very good. Flip it
3,
over. We have a slow
2,
motion
1.
mountain
Hand resisted
climber.
slow-mo mountain climber.
So, slow motion, in that I really want to hold the knee out. It's not slow motion as I'm going to move back and wait 5 seconds and then do another one. I want you holding that knee ahead of you, if you can. Everything here, crunching in. If you want the standing version, take it. Think about your rib cage
3,
moving to your
2,
hip bone.
1. Rest.
Good. Now we
3,
have a side body
2,
crunch.
1.
I'm on my side.
Side body crunch right.
I'm going to come up, shooting for a knee, sitting, or on the floor. You want more than this? Bring both legs. There's no tugging on the head, no tugging on the neck. I want you to have a very light touch there, and you're really trying to get your legs up to your head, meeting around the center body. 5 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
Other side.
3,
Almost there.
2, 1. Side body crunch left.
Halfway. My other elbow is on the floor. I can use that as a little bit of help by pushing through the floor. 5 seconds to go.
3, 2, 1.
Flip it over.
Rest.
We have a crossbody
3,
mountain climb.
2, 1.
If you really want
Slider
to,
cross body
you could
mountain
take your
climber.
sliders here and slide these over, but you do not have to. Going across the body, aiming your knee for the other elbow. Not enough real estate to make it all the way. So sad. 7 seconds. Woo.
3,
We're gonna stay
2,
here.
1. Rest.
We have a side-to-side
3,
ski ab.
2, 1.
Different levels.
Side to side
You
slider
can.
ski abs.
Step these out. Outside foot, inside foot. Your other option is to jump them together or to take your sliders and slide them. Oh, you can hear the floor making music. That's how sticky it is.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Very nice. Last but not least,
3,
we have
2,
a plank
1.
to
Slider
a
Python
height.
kick split circle.
We start right in the middle in our plank. From here, I'm going to push up into that pike. Then I'm back together, not letting anything dip or sag. Then I'm back up. When I go into the pike, I'm on my tiptoes. If you have the sliders, this one really jacks up.
3, 2, 1. Your timer is complete.
And with that, we're done for today. You did it, you survived. Nicely done. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to stretch, stay hydrated, stay cool, because it is hot out there. And we'll see you next time. Until then, we are signing off.